All right, guys. So, if you didn't know, Texas is basically frozen, right? They frozen. They got hit by a historic, basically once in a century, winter storm that has left much of the state without power, and millions of people are currently in danger and freezing and lacking food and resources. And it is really just a terrible situation. Okay. And it's a situation that requires everybody to come together, but specifically our leaders in this country, and to address it immediately, right? Because this is something that obviously is something that the state was not prepared for, as a lot of the energy resources in the state have been compromised, essentially frozen, right? And liberals and conservatives went back and forth on Twitter, having this really silly conversation about whose fault was it. It was the green energy people's fault. It was the coal people's fault. And they just go back and forth. Yeah. It's your fault. And the truth is that all the energy sources basically failed in Texas, right? The governor said it himself, okay? He tried to just blame green energy, but if you look at his previous interviews, all of them failed, guys, right? Like, it was really a silly argument. That's why I don't get involved in those arguments, okay? They all failed. At the end of the day, Texas needs to diversify its energy resources. I think that is essentially what the takeaway and more of this story is. Diversify and do whatever you have to do, whether it's green or not, to ensure that this does not happen again in this situation. That's what it comes down to. And I have a lot of respect for Ted Cruz, who had criticized California, right, for their power outages, right? And a lot of people criticize California for, trying to go green on their energy and whatnot, and, some of the failures that they've had. And Ted Cruz, like a man, comes out and says, I got no defense. A blizzard strikes Texas and our state shuts down. Not good. Stay safe. I salute Ted Cruz for this, because this is how leaders are supposed to act in the situations when they mess up, right? When your state messes up, take the blame, right? Take responsibility, okay? Fix it. That's all people ask you to do. This stuff is not hard, right? You don't have to go back and forth about whose fault was it, right? We're all in this together, okay? So, unfortunately, Ted Cruz dropped the ball because he was caught on a way to fly to Cancun with his family amid the Texas power crisis. Okay, this is not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Let's read a little bit more about the details here. Senator Ted Cruz flew to Cancun, Mexico with his family this week as Texas dealt with a winter storm that, as of Thursday, has left 500,000 without power, Fox News has confirmed. Photographs of Cruz, a representative for Texas, at an airport began circulating on social media late Wednesday, with people alleging that the senator had left the state for Cancun amid a major crisis. A Republican source told Fox News that the allegations Cruz was traveling to the Mexican city are true. The photos speak for themselves, the source said. Temperatures this week have plunged to dangerously record lows in the Lone Star State and overwhelmed power grids, leaving millions without power. At least 30 people have died across the U.S. as a result of the extreme winter weather, according to the Associated Press. Cruz acknowledged how serious the crisis is in a tweet Tuesday, saying a blizzard strikes Texas and our state shuts down. Not good. Cruz also Thursday lauded a furniture store owner who, according to Fox 26 in Houston, allowed 1,000 people in his store amid the power outages. Meanwhile, Punchbowl News reported Thursday that a person appearing to be Cruz is ticketed for a flight from Cancun to Houston later Thursday. The first three letters of the person's last name are CRU, and the first letter of the person's first name is R. The Texas senator's given first name is Raphael. Sure, you can see here, looks like Ted Cruz is on his way back from vacationing in Cancun for a little bit. And so, obviously, you can see here's some pictures of him on the flight, and then you have him in the airport, so we know it's true. Now, Ted Cruz has responded, right? And he's basically saying in his statement that, quote, this has been an infuriating week for Texans. The greatest state in the greatest country in the world has been without power. We have food lines, gas lines, and people sleeping at the neighbors' houses. Our homes are freezing and our lights are out. Like millions of Texans, our family lost heat and power too. His statement read. The senator also confirmed that he was returning to Texas on Thursday after flying to escort his daughters to Cancun on Wednesday. Quote, with schools canceled for the week, our girls asked to take a trip with friends, wanted to be a good dad. I flew down with them last night and was flying back this afternoon. My staff and I are in constant communication with state and local leaders to get to the bottom of what happened in Texas. Cruz statement said, we want our power back, our water on, our houses warm. My team and I will continue using all our resources to keep Texans informed and safe. Now, it is worth noting that in early December, Cruz had tweeted a video clip of a CNN segment about how Democratic officials were caught not following their own guidelines when it came to COVID-19. Cruz called them hypocrites, complete and utter hypocrites. He said in a tweet not to forget that Austin, Texas Mayor Steve Adler took a private jet with 8 people to Cabo, and while in Cabo, recorded a video telling Austinites to stay home if you can. This is not the time to relax. All right. So as you can see, Ted Cruz in the past has been critical of people vacationing during disasters, right? Saying he's basically saying that he was escorting his daughters down there, and that's his excuse. Now, some people have been upset with Ted Cruz regarding this. Jack Posovet, who's a conservative pundit, analyst, whatever you want to call it, on Twitter, who went off on Ted Cruz. He says this was absolutely disgusting. The people he represents are in need and he jets off. This is not leadership. This is a disgrace. So much for establishment Republicans. Now, a lot of people in Jack's comment section did not agree with him on this. Okay? They believe that Ted Cruz should not be criticized for leaving his state amid a natural disaster to go to Cancun because there was nothing that Ted Cruz could do about it, right? There was nothing he could do about it, so therefore he should be excused for leaving the state. That's what they saying. And then you also have another conservative pundit, Matt Walsh, who I think is a part of Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire, basically says, not sure I see the problem with Ted Cruz going to Cancun. What the hell do you want him to do? Grab a toolkit and go fix the power grid himself? Silly outrage. He says, quote, it's about optics. Okay, so you're saying it looks bad, but you know that it's not really bad. Then why are you outraged? Totally irrational and dumb. I think that what Matt Walsh is missing here is that not only does it look bad, it actually is really bad, right? And part of the reason why is because there is something that Ted Cruz could be doing. Okay, you have Beto, who was running against Cruz not too long ago, actively tweeting about how him and his team or his volunteers, whatever he did, made over 151,000 calls to senior citizens in Texas tonight. One of our volunteers talked to a man stranded at home without power in Cancun, haven't eaten in 2 days, got him a ride to a warming center and a hot meal. Help us reach more people. Join us tomorrow. So Beto, again, who's a Democrat, who actively was running against Ted Cruz, is out here tweeting resources, making phone calls, appearing that he's trying to help and trying to do something, while Ted Cruz is in Cancun with his wife and kids. And y'all are sitting here trying to tell people that you don't see a big deal, that there's nothing Ted Cruz could have done. See, this is why conservatives lose on certain issues, because we have our pundits that are out here not criticizing Republicans when they need to be criticized. It's okay to criticize Republicans, guys. This is a situation where Ted Cruz should be criticized, okay? Because there is something that he could do, right? He could be calling and coordinating safe places for people to go and trying to get, business owners to open up their stores, places that do have power to have people come and to, I don't know, coordinate something. He could be doing something, okay? There's something he can be doing. When you have a outage When you have a historic winter storm, once in a century type thing, when you have people that you represent that are in need, you don't just go to Cancun. You can't just take off and go to Mexico, especially when a lot of things you campaign on is keeping Mexicans out of the U.S. and then you turn around and go from the U.S. to Mexico when there's a disaster in the United States. You can't, like, that's something that you can't finesse, right? You don't get a pass for that, okay? And I've started this video off saying when Ted Cruz does something right, when he does something I think is good, I'm going to salute him. I'm going to give him credit. But when he does something I think is wrong, I'm going to criticize him. And guys, I know, yeah, he went to Cancun with his daughters and his statement said that it was a short trip and all this and that. But the thing is, guys, that's after the fact. That's after he got called out on it. Okay? After he got called out on it, now he's on the way back. Now, does that mean he wasn't planning to come back? Who knows? I don't know. Regardless, his wife was there, right? He's escorting his daughters. I get it. But it just was not a good move, in my opinion. Especially considering the things that he said in the past, the things he's campaigned on in the past about other people. Like, you just can't say those things and then turn around and get caught slipping like this. That's one of the biggest issues with the conservative movement. Conservatives afraid to criticize each other. We cannot get better. We cannot win if we don't criticize each other. If we don't call out wrong is wrong, because Ted Cruz could possibly lose his seat over this. Next time he comes up re-election, what Democrats gonna say? Democrats are gonna say, during a historic winter storm, Ted Cruz was vacationing in Cancun. They got pictures to prove it. While Beto and Democrats were making calls, trying to coordinate communication with seniors to try to make sure people are safe, working, doing something during this winter storm while Ted Cruz is vacationing. That's what Democrats gonna say. Okay? And again, it's not even just about the optics. It's about what's the right thing to do. You're elected to represent people, right? It doesn't matter if you work for the people on a federal level. It doesn't matter. You're still a man that was elected by the people. When the people need you, you need to be there, right? And if you're not going to be there, then don't be in Cancun, okay? Yeah, I don't understand the problem with holding your own to a higher standard. When I come up here and I criticize woke people and black people, when I criticize my own, I criticize them because I want us to be better. I want us to hold ourselves to a high standard because I know we can be better. When I criticize the Democrats, I'm criticizing them because I want them to be better, right? When I criticize a Republican politician, I'm criticizing them because I want them to be better. When I criticize something that Trump says, I'm criticizing him because I want him to be better, okay? I'm not criticizing people because I don't like them. That's not who I'm criticizing. I'm criticizing them because I want them to be better. Constructive criticism is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Ted Cruz slipped up. He slipped up on this situation. His state lost power, and the crazy thing is, he told you. He said, Texas lost power. Not good. That's my state. We're supposed to be the energy state. Our whole brand is off the fact that we're independent. And when a natural disaster occurred, we folded. We messed up. Ted Cruz is a part of that. He's a part of it. And he said it himself. So when people like Matt Walsh, who I have no problems with, he gives good commentary, right? I think he has a decently entertaining show. Same thing with Ben Shapiro. But when they come out here and they just give Ted Cruz a pass for something like this, again, it makes me question, where do your actual allegiances lie, right? If you're for the people, then you need to stand up for the people. Because when Ted Cruz is in Cancun vacationing, while his people, the people that elected him to be a leader for this country, when that leader is off vacationing, while people are freezing to death, literally, yeah, that's a big deal. That's something that conservative influencers in the media should jump on him for, because we want to hold him to a higher standard. If you want to keep Republicans elected, that should also be a part of the equation, because Democrats are going to use that. And guys, you have to remember, it's not about winning over people that already believe what you believe. It's about winning over people that are on the fence, winning over people who are undecided. That's what it's about. A lot of people that's on the fence are going to see something like this from somebody like Ted Cruz and be like, I don't know if I want this man representing us. Now, Beto has his own set of problems, obviously, with the gun stuff. Obviously, right? A lot of people just will never go for somebody like Beto, especially in a state like Texas. But there will be other Democrat politicians that are actually savvy enough not to tell people that they're going to ban guns, that are going to run and that are going to make headway because of stuff like this that Ted Cruz got caught doing. And then the conservative pundits don't even want to punish him for it when he should be punished. That's how you lose. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Hold our politicians to a higher standard. That's why we elected him. Ted Cruz, who is supposed to be an example for people, is supposed to have subservient leadership to the people. During a time of need, he should be there, right? So that's my opinion on that. Again, Ted Cruz took an L on this. It is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.